And speaking of Israeli-Arab ties, just 1 year after the signing of the Abraham Accords, Israel is set to take part in the Expo 2020 Dubai, set to officially open on Friday, October 1st. This marks the first time the World Expo is taking place in the Middle East and the first time that Israel is participating in such an event in an Arab country. And so here to discuss the significance and to offer a glimpse into the Israeli pavilion is Menachem Gantz, spokesman of Israel's pavilion at the Expo, joining us now from Dubai.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.
First of all, for those who are unfamiliar, can you briefly tell us about the Dubai Expo?
Well, the Expo in general is the first one, I guess, started in 1851. Most of you probably remember that the Tour Eiffel, the Eiffel Tower in Paris, is due to an Expo event in Paris. The last Expo was held in Milan in 2015. And this actually one, as you mentioned, had to start a year ago in 2020. And due to the COVID, was delayed in 1 year. And it's the first time that the Expo arrives to the Middle East. So it's a big thing. It's a big thing for the United Arab Emirates. They invested and built in 5 years a city where all 191 pavilions are already expecting all the guests and all the visitors to come and visit them. It's a great enthusiasm, and it's a unique opportunity for all nations to gather in one spot and to look forward for facing the challenges of the 21st century.
What is the significance of Israel's participation in the World Fair in Dubai?
Well, you know, I had the privilege to host tens of journalists this week on Monday as a pre-tour to our pavilion, and I told them it's history. Not every day someone wakes up in the morning and is part of history and he's fulfilling a dream. Who could ever think that Israel will participate? We're talking about our pavilion that is sponsored by 17 different ministries of the Israeli government. It's led by the Israeli MFA, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And this unique pavilion is a showcase for what Israel is about and what Israel contributes for the world. And who could ever think that we will have such a platform in an Arabic country? And I think that's also the news of this Expo. We see how Israel presents the hope, and it's a hope for the region. So people come in and they say, wow, actually, why it never happened before? Why we should think different? And we see that if we find the collaboration and we find the ground for our common work together, that's definitely a platform for the future. And our future is such that, and this is also the theme of our pavilion. The theme of our pavilion is Toward Tomorrow.
It's a meaningful message. And can you also perhaps give us a glimpse into the Israeli pavilion? What is Israel showcasing to the world?
Well, our pavilion is an open pavilion. It was designed by architect David Knaffo and AVS company that realized this pavilion. And they thought of, let's make an open pavilion. Let me remind you that the invitation to participate in the Expo arrived years before the Abraham Accords. So it was planned to have a public that had maybe fear or hesitating to get into the Israeli pavilion. And they choose to make our pavilion as an open one. So we show how alike we are, and we show it through the typography. Israel is like dunes and sand. Both Israel and the United Arab Emirates are countries that are coming from the desert, from sand, and very limited climate opportunities, and nevertheless reached where they are today. And as much as you go in the dune, as much as you get into the pavilion, you get to, with the message of collaboration toward tomorrow, where you see a sign in Aravrit, which is bilingual of Hebrew and Arabic, in Arabic, Aravit and Ivrit. And this sign that combines the two languages together show exactly how alike we are and how important for us to collaborate toward tomorrow.
Menachem Gantz, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.